Hello friends, as you might have guessed it, today I will be painting a chameleon with the watercolour edition of the Artful box. I first start off by painting the background colours that I see. So I saw some light browns and using the Payne's grey and also Mars black. I then use the masking fluid to preserve some of the white space on the branch. I then try to block out all the colours and get rid of all that white space. I decided to paint a chameleon as I thought it would be the best way to show off this set, as I was really impressed with how vibrant the colours were in my unboxing video. If you haven't seen that video already, be sure to check out the link in the description. As I was looking for reference photos for a chameleon, I really loved the pose of this chameleon, but I really loved the colours of another one, so it was quite a challenge for me to combine these two, as well as taking on watercolour, as I normally paint with acrylic and it works completely differently. So far I've been building up the colours of this chameleon little by little. I tried my best to capture its scaly texture with some dots. At this point in the painting I wasn't loving how it was looking, as it all seemed quite complicated and daunting. So I decided to take it back a step and work on the tail and then work towards the face. By doing this, it really built my confidence by starting off with something simple first. Then it occurred to me, oh, it'd be a really good idea to use that masking fluid to create that scaly texture. So as you can see now, I'm just dotting. This will help to preserve the colours underneath, and I can just paint over them. I thought this would be a really good technique for the branch also, so I didn't have to be too careful with my brush strokes. As the piece was looking quite flat, I thought it was important to deepen the background to give some contrast from the chameleon. So again, working with browns and blacks and Payne's grey. Then I worked on deepening the colours on the tail, so paying attention to where all the shadows were and also the little rings. I had to work on the background in quite a few layers. I think this was mainly because of the brown wasn't the best and it was a bit chalky, but I found the Payne's grey and the Mars black to be really beautiful. Then I was working on the little leaf in the background. Then I started working on the branch that this little chameleon's sitting on. Working backwards from the tail, I then started deepening up his little leg and under his tummy. In this particular shot you can see where the masking fluid is resisting the paint. I then went in with beautiful rich violet and all of the other shades of blue, really just being braver and bolder with all these colours. I think adding all of this depth and the darker colours really made this piece come together, and I felt a lot more confident with my colour choices. So as I was working backwards, it was time to add some more detail to the face. So here I'm just darkening under his mouth and also details around his eyes and his little head and nose. I found the way that chameleon eyes look quite fascinating actually, that they have a texture even on their eyes. Next up was this arm. So the arm colours were actually from the other reference, and I just really loved the pinky orangey red that they had. I was desperate to try the orangey red pinks in this set, and I thought this was a great way to showcase it. I then added some further depth underneath this little chameleon, so to give in to the shadows. Contrast is a really huge thing in making something look believable, so I did the same thing with the branch, adding the shadows underneath. I also tried to darken up the leaf behind this chameleon, as I wanted the main focus to be the chameleon and not for the leaf to be competing with him. I'd say adding these fine little details are always what ties a piece together, and that's probably half of my painting process. Then it was time to rub out all that masking fluid and reveal the paint underneath, or the white areas that I preserved. I was really pleased with how this came out, although I thought the branch had a little bit too much white space, so I went in back with the brown to make it a little bit more textured, but I really liked this graphic sort of effect that was left by it, so I didn't make it too realistic as I quite liked how it looked. It was really a joy to work with most of the colours in this set, especially the masking fluid as well, and the brushes were a delight to use. As you can see from this Chameleon, the colours are just so vibrant and lovely, and I definitely use this set again. I just wish that the brown was a little bit better, but I think that's a really minor thing in comparison to how much I enjoyed using the rest of the paints. I definitely recommend this set. I think it's amazing that all of the materials that you ever need is provided, and it's great if you're starting off. This painting has to be the most difficult painting that I've attempted in a long time, partly due to the fact that I wasn't using acrylics and I was using watercolours for a change, but also combining two references. However, I am so pleased with the outcome. I'm really glad that I challenged myself to use these new materials and to think outside of the box of how to create those highlights, such as using the masking fluid provided. I think it just goes to show that when you challenge yourself and put yourself in an unfamiliar situation, it helps you to think more creatively. I hope you've enjoyed watching me paint this little chameleon with this artful box. I hope it gives you a good perspective on how well these paints perform. I'll see you next time, guys. Bye!